Thanks for listening to Blondes in the Burbs. You can listen to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
Today we have a special guest, and many of you may know him, but I will formally introduce him. His name is Kyle Grimbo Sullivan.
Sullivan.
We all went to high school together.
Yep.
And
We
Kyle
went to the prom together.
Did you guys really?
Yeah, we did.
did
I
we?
gotta see a picture.
Yeah, we did.
Was it the gold dress?
It was the best night of your life.
Oh, okay.
Wait, we need a picture of that for our grid.
Yep. So Kyle was the 2004, or voted by the class of 2004 to be the most likely to stay in Foxborough. And you are staying true to your roots because you have not left.
Of course I am. I even work for the town.
So Kyle,
I love that.
Kyle grew up in Foxborough, and you've spent your whole life here. So do you want to kind of give us a little intro of like just how you kind of stayed in Foxborough and a little background?
Well, I'm like 5th generation Foxborough. My great-grandparents grew up here. A couple stints not in Foxborough. I lived
Where?
in Attleboro for lovely town of Attleboro for, I don't know, almost a year. 2 years in Plainville. But no, I'm back, and I'm not leaving. Not leaving. Love this place. Love this
Same.
place. Yeah. Townie through and through.
And your parents still live here.
My parents still live here. My mother's side, that is like 5 generations. My father, he's 1st generation, I believe. They all both graduated Foxborough High. And, just dug in like a tick.
Together they graduated Foxborough High?
No, my father was 69. My mom was a few years later.
But they knew each other from high school.
No, they didn't. It was actually my mom's twin sister that introduced them.
Wow.
Because my dad's very good friend from high school, they played baseball together, introduced them. So my aunt was dating him, he's also a very big townie. I'll tell you guys off. And introduced them, and then, just the sparks blew.
The rest is history.
The rest is history. And
Wow.
then they had God's greatest gift to earth, me.
But do your siblings still live in Foxborough?
No, my brother's in
Okay.
Florida right now, and my sister's down in Plimpton. And but close. She's close. And my brother just moved down there 2 years ago, and I'm not sure if he's coming back, but no, we're all close.
It's so funny when people move outside of Foxborough. I'm always like, oh, I don't know. I could never. I'm so scared to do that.
Never.
Because I'm like you. I lived in Norton, and where else did I live? That's it. Easton. Lived in condos in Easton. How did I forget that? Started in Easton, went to Norton, and then always wanted to get back to Foxborough, but it's so expensive.
Yeah. Oh, it's awful.
Because buying a house, it's like impossible to like finagle. No. One goes on the market, and then you.
I know people always make fun of me and Craig because we move so much, and I'm like, well, we're moving so much because we're rolling the equity from one house into the next.
You're smart. You're smart about it.
Yeah, but we have to move a lot.
Eh.
But this is it.
Better than rented.
So, right? All right. So we kind of know that you are a lifer.
Yep,
so can you talk a little bit about like what makes Foxborough special?
I don't know. It's just everybody's close. I mean, like the old school Foxborough, everybody's close. Everybody knows everybody. And I don't know. It's just familiar. It's very familiar. It's very warming. It's changing a little bit. Whether it's for the better or worse, that's for somebody else to decide. But I have my own opinion, but I get it.
But there is charm to Foxborough. I mean, I've lived in a bazillion different places, and
Foxborough's great. There's
I
tons of charm.
always come back because obviously my sister lives here and my dad lives here, but there's just something really unique about it. But you talk a little bit about the changes. Like, what are some of the changes that you think have happened that whether they've positively or negatively influenced?
It's just
not
opinion. Like that hometown feel anymore. It's like you just let your kids go out and go, and it's like there's way too much.
Like you come home when it's dark out. You can't really do that anymore.
Like, go. It's just people just have a different thought of it. It's like I still see Foxborough as being a very safe town. Where when the kids getting out of school, there's police officers all through from Ahern School to my place to the center. And the same with the high school. It's like it's still that safe town, but people just don't look at it like that. Like it's that safe town. I don't know. It's hard to describe what it is, and it's just you see it through school stuff. It's just changing. It's not like it was.
Yeah.
So you're very familiar with the police.
Yeah,
so
just we're working with them.
So I know you talk about like that small hometown feeling, and in your opinion, what would you say are some of the most conflicting things between the old Foxborough and the new Foxborough, and how do you overcome some of those challenges with that perception?
Wow. The town's gotten so many people who are coming in who aren't townies. Like, you don't know them. It's like everybody who knows each other gets it. I say gets it just by being here. It's hard to say. And my big thing is the town's growing as everything does. So I think it's just evolving, I guess. Maybe it's just me just being that I don't like it. But
yeah, I think a lot of people come in too for the school systems.
Schools are
and then
great.
That's bringing like, I notice a lot of people coming from like West Roxbury and Boston. And, like, it's not like people are moving. Not like me and Craig, how we move across town. You don't see that a lot.
Yeah.
But I get it. They're gonna move someplace better, and they don't have those roots dug in where it's just an old thought.
My
process.
parents did that. They moved here from West Roxbury.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too, you put out a questionnaire about like who can we interview was like one of the random questions, and one of our listeners said to interview Pat McGuire.
Great guy.
And I think he's a local guy, right?
Yes.
Didn't he graduate high school with your
brother?
brother?
My brother. Yep. Yep.
And so we've reached out to him to try to get him to come on our podcast. But
Sometimes I like when it's like soccer, right? Or basketball or any sport. Sometimes I like when it's parents that I don't know coaching. But then sometimes I like when it is parents that I do know. It's almost like when you go for an interview, right? And you got to interview with your people that you know versus people you don't know. I feel like I'm so much better off with people I don't know.
I mean, has Craig coached?
He does. Craig does coach. Yeah, he coaches.
He's also
basketball.
a ref.
He's a part-time ref for college and high school. I think he's gonna kind of get away from the high school.
Right, he's been doing that a long time.
He's been doing it a really long time.
Yeah.
But like now our family's growing, and it's like, whoa, kind of need you on Friday nights.
Time issues.
It's a time issue.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, and I think like kind of circling back to just like Foxborough's charm, it's like your brother lives here, my sister still lives here, my dad lives here. Like family members don't really leave the town.
Yeah,
and
they
there's
don't
a lot of
they stay close by.
Yeah, and I think like it's kind of a testament to like Foxborough, you know, the pride that's probably come.
Pride. Pride, the camaraderie, if you will.
You think about the music program or like the sports teams.
But no, going back to that coaching thing, you know how hard it is to coach these days?
no, and that's the thing. Like, so to put into perspective, Vivian's doing lacrosse, and we ordered her jersey from like a website. She didn't get the website. I feel bad emailing these people and being like, hey, where's the sweatshirt? Because I know they got their own kids. They're at home, so all the stuff they're doing for free. It's not even just on the field. It's all like the admin stuff that they have to do at home.
And I don't remember that when we were growing up. I don't. No. Did we?
Well, it's my first year coaching, so
I don't think we had I think our parents just dropped us off in blue shorts and a yellow top.
Yeah,
and like,
see you later.
Have at it.
See you later. Find a ride home.
Now they're like, you gotta get customized, your name on it.
Oh yeah, your own helmet, this and that. Then, yeah, it's insane. Even with the coaching aspect. Like,
what did you coach?
I'm coaching the first time I see a softball. Instructional.
Girls?
Yeah, instructional girls, and I had to go through like Corey checks and everything, which I'm okay with. Like, I get it, you know. Well, I'm like, I don't remember that. But, I mean, it was just like, I'm like, holy, and I take all these classes, like, different ones. I'm like, I understand why. I'm like, this is a little much. But
I wonder if the rules are the same, too, because I'm pretty sure they have, like, each kid has to get a certain amount of playing time. But I don't know what age that change. Is that going on at that age?
Not instructional. Instructional is like they all practice together. It's like you have stations, and it's like, all right, we're doing fielding here, throwing here, batting, and then the games are just like, it's basically babysitting for an hour, but you're teaching them the logistics. Like, I'm going into it as teaching them to be safe, not kill each other with a ball. Like the basics, like, don't swing a bat when a kid's behind you. Like that type of stuff. And just the basics of the game. But as you get older, I think it's like, it's more, it just progresses, like, as the game goes, like, all right, this is how you run the bases. This is, they don't keep score or anything.
Yeah, there's no score
anymore.
anymore.
I get in the car and I'm like, you lost.
You
lost 23-2, like,
I'm always like, what was the score? Like, we don't keep score. Someone was.
No, I do.
What was the score?
I do. You lost because you guys weren't the better team. You just got to work harder.
Everyone gets a medal.
No.
I think that changes, like, second grade, because Vivian now goes to, like, other towns to play sports.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure second?
Second grade. Lacrosse.
Yeah.
She goes and plays, like, other towns.
She's really tall.
Yeah. Wicked tall.
Holy moly.
Yeah, she is.
I was like, second grade, but,
yeah.
I mean, I don't remember. I mean, I remember playing sports. My sister was always better at sports than I was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't good at sports in high school. I remember sitting on the bench with...
Mediocre at best.
Yeah. I remember...
What did you play? I don't remember you playing anything.
I quote-unquote played field hockey with Kathy DeLuca. And we can leave her name in here because this is hysterical. We used to sit on the bench and sing to our coach, like, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Because we were like... We basically knew how to run with a stick in our hand.
Yeah.
And that was it. There was nothing else.
Just light people up.
No, we didn't even... We were too busy.
Even get to the field.
Interested in just chatting.
I
I was not like sports. I was good at what I wanted to be good at. And like now I kind of equate that to my adult life as like, I guess I'm good at working because I have like nothing else to do. And like, I'm kind of bored and
you kind of have to work.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be working if I didn't have to.
Yeah. But what's it like?
Yeah.
Because I almost worked for the town, not like a couple of years ago. And I always would be like, I don't know. What's it like working for the town and then living in the town?
Our day in the life is we maintain at the highway department. We maintain like the water basins, like cleaning them out, making sure it's not flooding. Potholes, which I know everybody in Foxborough is upset about the potholes. But we only have one hot box that is 80 years old that breaks all the time, and it's maintenance. The sidewalk supervisor right here. That's what I do. I take care of the sidewalks, and it's when there's an accident or something, we get called in to detour roads, stuff like that. It's maintenance, and we do a lot of everything, like rebuilding basins. You dig down like what they call sewers or whatever, like the Ninja Turtles come out of.
Yeah.
Like you cut that open, pull it all up. I haven't seen the Ninja Turtle yet, but you got to rebuild it. There's drainage where that water goes from. Do a lot of that.
How do you learn all that? Just on the job?
Learn on the job. Yeah, you just learn on the job, and then machine work. A lot of like you gotta get your licenses for that, and then plowing is huge. It's tedious, tiring.
I have a
Wears
question.
on you. Oh, jeez. Go ahead, shoot.
Why does it take so long when I text you about a crooked street sign to get it fixed?
Don't even talk, because that's my job. That's me. I'm the sign supervisor too.
Oh, the sidewalk
I got
sweeper?
bosses. Yeah, I'm a sidewalk supervisor, and I take care of the signs. Like you go in my
That
sign.
happened a lot. I've never seen.
You go into my
One day I was
sign
out for a walk and I like
Yeah, I get text from her like this is crooked.
this
I'm like,
side. It wasn't even
go away.
crooked, but I was like, I just wanted to test him to see like how long would it take him to actually.
Did I fix it?
I think you did. I
did
actually
right away
think
'cause
I
you
like,
called. Well, a
but,
lot of calls like you jump.
We know that you grew up here and you're involved. But Jenna shared with me that you have like a really good left foot. Mm-hmm. When you're out there dancing on the stage. So can you share with us?
I snuck a video of you last year.
Oh my gosh.
We'll post the video on our page.
Can I go pee?
Yeah. It's upstairs to the first door.
I gotta pee because I'll get into dance stuff.
I love the dance dad stuff. I'm just gonna leave it running because I don't.
It's perfect.
Keep going.
Oh my God.
What's he doing up there?
I never know what he's doing. Who knows what he's doing? He's up there with the girls in the kitchen.
Greg is
Just having
like,
fun.
when I say invested in this, like he's like, what's Bonds in the Burbs taking a break? You guys haven't posted on socials. I'm like, I don't really know what to post.
Love
I think
love
He's
that.
really into
I
this.
do think we need to post like a picture either of us together or like a picture of each of us to be like, this
Yeah,
is
here
but
we are.
This is who's
We'll get
behind
there.
it.
We'll get there someday.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the recording here.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to transition to talk about you as a dance dad. So share with us and the listeners, how did you get into participating in dance?
So I have 2 daughters. My oldest has been doing it since she was 2, so she's got her 10-year chip
Yeah.
award. And so she wasn't doing sports. She did soccer 1 year, but was in a dance. So I'm a dad, so you got to participate with your kids. So I love doing stuff like that. And I mean, I'm a natural dancer. So that's how that started. And then it was just the past couple of years where I got into actually doing, I'm always driving back and forth with the 2 of them. And my youngest has been doing it for 5 years. She's going to be 8. So since they were both 2. And this past year, 2024, I did the parent-student dance. Was a hit. I loved it. And then I did the Nutcracker. And that was my breakout performance. It was breathtaking, borderline magical.
Yeah, I saw it. It was fantastic.
It was great. It was great. I thought I did awesome.
But you messed up every step.
No, I didn't.
No, I said no.
No.
I sent you the rehearsal.
Rehearsal one?
I don't think you saw it.
I was getting upset. I was getting upset. But the first show of the actual show,
Crushed
if
it.
you look, I knocked over all the presents in the back with the box that one of the dance girls was in that I had to push out. Nobody knew it, and me and another one were arguing, and nobody saw it, though. I'm like, I told you this was going to break. I should have built it.
I thought the arguing was part of the because it
Oh,
was a
no.
Christmas party.
Yes.
The scene was a Christmas party, but I thought the arguing was like part of the set.
Oh, no. It was me getting upset because I told her this was going to break. It was flimsy. I'm a cop, and I would have built it. And we got into a little tiff, but nobody noticed it. They thought it was part of the show. But anywho, that one was a kind of a top one, but the next one I killed. And so I was Clara's dad. And
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'll do it. I didn't realize, they would put me in the front row doing my dance, and I thought I did pretty well.
At the Nutcracker.
Yeah, Nutcracker.
Yeah, I thought you crushed it.
Yeah, I killed it.
So
I had my own green room, too, in the back.
So what's the practice schedule
Just a
like?
dressing room.
Tell-
I know.
tell me-
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, or
Practice
could
schedule
you
is tough.
not even the practice schedule? Could you just walk us through? How did you? I know that you said you've been driving your kids to and from. Walk us through how you kind of were interested in it.
Interested in it? Well, I'm interested in anything my kids do, and I'm a big kid myself. You know that. You guys know that. I just love having fun, and then watching them have fun. So being involved with them is awesome. You're driving back and forth, and it's just oh, there's a parent dance. I'm like, yeah, I'm in.
Do they
And then
like that you do it?
They love it.
Yeah.
Because I embarrass them, but at the same time, they secretly love it.
Love it.
And
But you have the support of your parents too, right? In this
oh
adventure.
yeah, well they know me obviously.
I know.
It was their choice to have me, not mine. we had a blast. I have a blast, and everybody, Jenna, or either you or Craigie sent me a video. I'm like, oh my god, look how good I look. I get excited, just as excited as they do. It's fun. Just doing anything with them is great. So when I have the opportunity to do it, I jump on it. I jump on everything. But so you want to know about the practice schedule?
Yeah,
of
talk
the
just
Nutcracker?
about practice.
Tedious.
Oh, it was
my
tedious
gosh.
for I had
So-
Vivian in it. It was awful.
So I got to work at 3:00. We had to be in Providence at the theater at 4. So I get out at 3.
Holy.
So
Yeah.
who usually gets out of work at 3? Nobody. So I got 3 other girls to drive with me. I got to pick up, including my daughter. So I'm driving around town, boogieing down there, sitting in traffic. They got a little taste of Kyle. I'm in traffic. I'm a little different in traffic. I'm a little upset. They're dying laughing. I got these 12-year-old girls dying laughing at me. I'm like, you don't know how to drive. And I don't think it's you who knows how to drive, Kyle. I'm like, stop it. So we get down there for 4, and they're all buzz in. I got to find parking. So I got to find parking and then get my wardrobe on, which was breathtaking, which was great. I looked awesome. And so I had to get dressed, and then I'm getting yelled at for being late. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, really? Anywho, it's a tough business. So I knew what I was getting into. So that was for a week straight. I had to do that, and we were there till 8:30.
Yeah, it was late.
And then I come home and drop them
kids
all
too.
off.
This is wild.
Gotta stop at Starbucks on the way home. They all want their pinkety drinkities. I got these little girls that just out there chit chatting about this, that, skibbity this, and whatever. I'm like, I loved it. It was awesome. It was so much fun. It was a blast.
Yeah, I drove Vivian, and so each scene had to be there for different times.
Yep.
But
so
like
I'm sure
5 hours. That's a long.
Oh yeah,
they had like multiple. So Vivian was like a snow angel or something. So she only had to be there for 45 minutes, from 4 to 4:45, and then she got to go home.
Oh, okay. So, it was,
But other kids, like I'm sure
We
your
got
daughter
4
probably
kids.
We'll edit that
So
out.
so there was 4 of these girls, including my daughter, and so they were in different scenes. So I was in the like a parent scene in the beginning, and then I think that was it, and I came out the end. So I do my scene, and I'd be sitting in the stands, waiting and watching. So
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a
People
lot.
were like
So-
ordering food there.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, wow.
the concessions were open.
the concessions were open.
Yep.
But it was my first year doing it.
Yeah.
Vivian, she was on the fence about doing it, and she wanted to do it. I'm like, whatever. But I didn't know the commitment that was going to come with it.
Oh, it's
and it was
huge.
the week before Christmas.
Yep.
So wasn't it the week before Christmas? And then
Yeah, it was the 19th, I want to say.
yeah.
I'm not sure, but don't hold me to it.
I want to say it was the week before. At least it felt like it was the week before Christmas.
Yeah.
And you had to be there at 4, so I had to take the 2 other kids with me.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, and it's in
Here's
Providence.
the real question.
Well, you're a dance mom, so you have to do the hair and stuff.
Yep, the hair, the makeup.
I bring my daughters there, and
Some
you
other
dance
mom.
moms help out.
Well,
Unless
here's
my
the real question.
Unless my kid's mother's there, she's at all the competitions, does their hair and stuff. But a lot of the week, I'm dropping them off, and there's rats' nests. There's no
I
shoes.
know.
You see me digging through the loaners.
You see, so Kyle has seen me on multiple occasions bombing into the dance studio,
Yep.
dropping one kid off. Everyone's like looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I just got to get across town to get to lacrosse
See, that's
now.
old Foxborough right there. We look at each other like, I get it.
Yeah.
I come in, I'm like, where's the loaner thing? Pulling out the bin. What size are you, honey? Ask you every Saturday because you don't have your dance bag. And, 11, and we're digging through. There's shoes flying. And they're like, oh, it's Kyle. We get it.
We get it.
So my question to you, Jenna, is you have 2 that are 3 right now.
Yeah.
What?
2 daughters that are 3
they're
years
Irish twins?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
that's tough.
What happens when you have two doing the Nutcracker,
So
or even maybe 3?
I learned my lesson with Viv because the Nutcracker is. Oh yeah, you're good. I learned my lesson with Viv because the Nutcracker was a little bit too much for if it's just one scene. Like it's a great performance, but I think we would be better off going as spectators and supporting our friends. I can't commit to that with the other 2, just because it's crazy.
That's
So
a lot.
you're learning.
I'm
I
learning,
mean,
and they do the dance studio that our kids go to. They do local events for those that can't commit to the Rhode Island because it is a lot. It's a lot. So instead of that, they do something at the Orpheum, and it's like a December holiday.
Yeah, they did the
Christmas.
Jessica Lynn concert.
Yeah.
This year. Did your girls do that?
Vivian did it,
Yeah.
and I was like, wow, I should do this for the other 2. I can't commit to Rhode Island.
so
It was
speaking
awesome,
of the
Which is good.
Orpheum, what are they doing up there? The sidewalks dug up.
That's not a town job. That is a private job, but I think they're redoing it. Probably make it to ADA compliance for handicap and stuff.
Understood.
Would be my guess.
So going back to dancing, will we see you in future performances?
So I'm in
The recital.
6 dances at the recital. 3. So it's 3 shows. I'm doing the parent dance with both kids, so 2 separate dances. So 6 total. So
will
I'll be
we
there
see
all
you
day.
on Broadway?
No, I'm a. My mom says I don't have a church voice and I can't dance. I think otherwise. I think I have a voice like an angel, and I think I can dance like Chuck Berry. But that's to be determined. But my whole thing with the parent dance is to embarrass my kids. That's the whole thing, and look at them have fun and
That's
give me
old
those.
Foxborough.
Give me that
That's
look.
old Foxborough.
Yeah, they give me that look of like, are you kidding me? Like I drop my daughter off so. She gets dropped off at school, and I'll be waiting in the truck, like on our break, and she starts walking up to school, and I pull up, put the lights on, and say, "Hey, honey, I have a good day. I love you." Dad, stop! And all the kids are looking. That's your job as a dad. What I think, like embarrass them, have fun.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you have the support of your family in this endeavor.
Oh yeah.
With the dancing.
Oh yeah.
And you're gonna do a couple more productions.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe you're in 6.
I'm dug in.
What happens when your family moves on from the dance studio and it's just you? Will you go back and try to dance?
I don't want to think about my kids being grown up. That makes me sad because they're gonna be gone.
Well, how old's the youngest?
She'll be 8 this summer.
Oh, you got some time.
Yeah, I got some time. And my oldest is gonna be a teenager in a couple months, and that kills me.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous too. Just
Yeah,
like her
she's so
dad.
pretty. She's tall. She's a good dancer. She's like,
Yeah.
so are they both in 6? How many dances are they both in? I'm mentally trying to calculate your cost for all these costumes.
My oldest is at the dance studio 5 out of 7 days a week, and there's 2 days she's there from 3:15 till 9 at night.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's wild, but she's a straight A student.
Yeah.
Until her grades slip, she can do what she wants.
Yeah.
The cost,
That's a lot.
it's bleh. You can throw up. But
I don't even know what
the
I just
thing I see about it
spent.
though is like, what were we doing when we were 13?
Playing
No
CYO basketball.
No good. I was up to no
for
good.
$50.
I was up to
CYO
no
basketball
good.
still exists.
I don't think so. I don't think they called CYO.
Can we-
It was a mayhem.
Can we get somebody from the town that's old Foxborough to bring CYO back?
CYO was fantastic.
Excuse me. It was amazing. It was amazing.
But no, it's good that she goes to dance.
Yeah,
and
it's a good group of girls. Like, you drop them off there, and they're watch over, because there's a day that my youngest, and they like don't overlap, but it's like, I'm not coming back, so I can just drop her up there, and there's always somebody looking over, one of the older girls. They got a good camaraderie there. They got a good group, and it's giving them something healthy to do that they're happy doing. I mean, I was at 13, I was causing ruckus around town, you know, but
I will never forget my favorite memory. Kyle and I grew up in the same neighborhood.
yeah, we did.
We were
Since we were
neighbors.
3.
I lived
used to
there
go
for a
3.
little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
I'm gone, but
Going
So-
swimming down in the Point Royal.
yeah.
You
that's what
talk, you talk about being a menace. I think when we were growing up, we lived in a neighborhood with 4 sets of Sullivans.
4 sets of Sullivans.
And none of us were
That's a recipe for disaster.
and none of us were related.
Yeah, weird.
But we all hung out for the most part.
So
You
full
guys
dis-
had a good neighborhood.
full disclosure. So Laura Sullivan, Kyle Sullivan, her birthday is February 6th, 1986. Mine's February 7th, 1986. We're a day apart.
Tell them what you did in high school.
So we told everybody that we were twins.
No, you told the homeroom teacher who believed us
That we were twins. And he's
Oh,
not
I
for,
heard that.
for 3
3
years.
years.
What was
3
his
years.
name? What was that guy's name?
Oh, it was
Woodward?
Ferber. No, not Woodward. Woodward was a great teacher.
So the teacher's name, it was Mr. Ferber?
Ferber, yeah.
And your dad, Kyle's
we used
dad.
to get kicked out of homeroom. We were only there for 5 minutes.
Yeah, your homeroom's just for attendance. And
For
Pledge of
attendance, we get
Allegiance.
thrown out.
Kyle's dad, who's amazing, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
I love Kyle's dad. But he went in for a parent-teacher conference, and what happened?
Oh yeah, he's like, oh, you gonna, do you want to talk about Laura too? And he's like, because my father have to go for me because he get bad news. My mom would go do the 2 golden children, and just the middle menace here. And he's like, oh, do you want to talk about Laura? He's like, no. He's like, well, while we're here, she's scheduled like an hour later. He's like, no, why would I want to do Laura? He's like, well, it's your daughter, his twin sister. He's like, just starts laughing. He's like, oh my god. He's like, wait, what? And
You had him played
he's like,
for
the
a-
past 3 years, I thought they were twins.
That is so funny.
You had him played for a long time.
Oh, yeah, I had that guy.
Oh, I'm crying laughing.
We had so many crazy memories like that from high school, but like I think when I look back, like we always used to swim at your parents' house, but like
Oh, yeah.
outside
Yeah.
of just doing things like that, old Foxborough was really fun because
Yeah, kick
our
the
parents
can.
didn't.
Manhunt. Oh
Vicious
my god.
manhunt games. My parents were
Yeah.
getting calls about people's fences broken and stuff.
Or when we lit the forest on fire.
That was bad. The fire department came that time. They're like, what are you doing? Like, well, we're taking dirt balls, wrapping them in newspaper, lighting them on fire, and throwing them at each other. Like, that's normal, right?
Not good.
No.
Yeah, I did not do dance, nothing.
No.
But now Vivian does like 9 different things.
And my sister's kid does something similar. I'm like, how do these parents keep up? I mean, I don't have kids, but
well, Vivian said she wants to take a step back from dance next year, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh,
thank
sweet.
you, because
Thank God.
Even the recital, I'm like,
it's a lot.
I was looking at the bill, and I had to email her because I'm like, I'm so, because I have 2 kids.
Yep.
But they're in 6 or 7 different performances, and they bill it by like, this dress goes with this pair of tights, with this pair of shoes, with this shirt. And I was so confused.
It's like when you get an acai bowl and they charge you for like
every topping.
I honestly have no idea how much we pay. I will not be told because
no, don't be told.
I will lose it.
Yeah,
but it's a lot. I mean, you need a costume for every dance.
Every dance.
I don't know how much
and
that
stuff
is.
And shoes.
Oh,
tights,
the tights,
yeah,
they wear them out in
shoes.
no time.
Yeah.
I send my kids with rips in them. I'm like,
yeah,
so bad, you know. It's a
Vivian
lot.
just wants to take a step back because it's so long. So dance starts in September and ends in May.
Right.
And then she's into sports. So when she gets into her sports, she's got to go to dance. Like right now, she goes to dance and then lacrosse.
Oh God.
So for her,
right from the
parking lot.
It's a lot for a kid.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I just don't remember being that crazy busy when we were growing up, but I also, I mean, that was a long time ago. That was like 20-something years ago.
Yeah. But we also there was a lot of villages back then. My mom would have your mom pick us up from school and then
vice versa.
Being in
like,
the old Dottie hatchback with 16 of us and then go, where's Mo? And
we left her at a gas
station. She left her at a gas
station
station down Scussett Beach. We were in like Marlboro. We were like in Lakeville.
I think one of my...
And then we went back and she's crying. Poor kid. She was left everywhere.
I think I was there.
Yeah, there was like 16 of us.
Yeah.
It was...
And weren't we like... No, Mo is
in the
back
Woody.
at the gas station. I thought it was McDonald's for some reason. I'm like,
no, it was a gas station.
It might have
right
been McDonald's.
I'm
like, Mo's not here. Yeah.
Mo's... poor kid. Poor kid.
Oh my God, the stories I could tell about those cars.
Because they had the car where you... What was it?
The red one.
A Dodge Caravan?
Somebody who's in the car was facing backwards and dropped their pants and full spread to the person behind us. Followed us all the way back to one cabin. Do you remember this one? And they got out of the car and started barking at Dottie. Bad idea to all listeners. You never did that. You didn't bark at Dottie about the kids. You didn't bark at Millie about the kids. Something you did not do. Dottie gave this guy a reaming. Like screaming, and we're dying laughing. We're like, you don't do this, and we're like 10 years old. Like, you know this. He went running back to his car, dude. He was sitting there giggling with, full spread.
Well, I do remember one other quick story about Dottie. Like, the neighbors behind us had like a really nice car. We never.
I remember this one.
We never had nice cars, and one day, my mother was a terrible driver, by the way.
How many times did she blow on that curb?
8 in 1 year.
There was 2 in one day. I watched them. Big Dan was sitting on the steps having a beer. He's turned around. He's here. He goes, God damn it, Dottie, without even turning around. She blew another tire. She goes, I didn't see a thing. I didn't see the first one either.
It was bad.
I'm sorry. Go on.
So the neighbors had a really nice car. My mom was a nurse, so she was like always going early in the morning or like coming home after like the night shift. And I don't remember the time of day. It was either early or late. And the neighbor came around the corner and she backed into the neighbor.
From the driveway?
From the driveway that's like 2 feet long.
Yeah.
And she got out of the car and convinced the neighbor that it was their fault. And I was like, how?
How did you do that?
How? You just
You didn't mess with her.
You went.
No, you just did. Remember the little yellow hot rod? We used to steal that.
It was the Ford.
It was the Ford something.
Escape?
No, it was a little like yellow like car. It was like the one from The Mask with Jim Carrey, the loner. It was like that. And it had just a sticker on it. Just said, "Normal people worry me."
Oh yeah,
it's a dog car.
So I mean, we kind of grew up like that, and now it's like I mean, I hear some of those stories in town where like families would be horrified by what happened. I don't know, like your mom and my mom, they always used to just figure. It was always down to
figure it out. You always got there. You always got there.
My mom didn't drive. I was very rare that my mother was the one that was driving me to the event that I had.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like there was always somebody else.
Somebody's picking you up. It's like, oh,
And less
this
was
person
always
picked you up.
more.
All right.
Remember we used to play with like the leaves? We would tie the leaves from one. We were so bored. I'll never forget this. This guy named Al Sozio who used to live in our neighborhood.
He called the
Did we
cops,
tie
didn't
them on strings?
Yeah.
The car thought they
You
drove
remember
by?
this?
Yeah, the
Stringing.
car thought they
We
hit
used
them.
to do this with all of the kids. There were like 20 of us. And then I remember your brother driving. I think it was him, but we were driving around the neighborhood in the big wheels racing. We used to do that with all the neighbors.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not, you can't do that now. Like
string
imagine if you drove,
So we take sewing string and we
tie a
pull it
string.
across a main street and hang leaves on it so it looked like leaves were floating, and you had people lock up their brakes, and it'd be like, and they get out looking at it, and we'd be dying.
Yeah, I remember
Dying.
that.
And then wet paper towels at him. Remember we hit Danny's girlfriend's mom's car with the wet paper towels. Didn't know it was her. And Dottie came out, screaming. It wasn't us. Our hands are all wet. Like,
We used to do anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
entertained. It was good
I
fun.
mean,
It wasn't really
you can't really
dangerous.
behave like that these
Well,
days.
now there's cameras. I can see what.
I know you talked about your dance family and then also your family, which is really important. But can you talk about just the importance of having your village of friends?
My village of friends are tight, and they've done more for me than you'll ever know. They've got me through the worst times of my life. I don't know if you want to get into it. My addiction I went through. I'll touch on that if you'd like. My family and friends got me through that.
What kind of addiction? Talk about that.
It was prescription medication. I had an injury, and it was the scariest thing in my life because it's something you can't control. It wasn't I was abusing it. It wasn't afterwards, but I got into, it was prescribed, and then it just spiraled into something.
That's how it starts, right?
Yes,
So,
it was insane. It was the scariest thing ever because you're physically and mentally. But my friends and family, if it wasn't for them, I probably would not be here. And
all from Foxborough.
All from Foxborough. All from Foxborough. My two best friends are the greatest people in the world. They went over and visited my family, took my kids out when I went away for a couple months, which was the best thing I've ever did in my life. And my family and friends are my tight-knit are the best. Laura, Jenna, you guys are both part of that group. It's goes back to that whole Foxborough thing. People stay tight.
You got addicted to prescription pills, but you never kind of took that jump off. You always stayed on prescription pills. You never took the next jump, which is going to hardcore drugs.
Not really, kind of.
'Cause that's what
it was
people
a very
kinda-
short time where I went to something different, which was not intravenous. It was I never shot anything, but I did go to that for a very short period of time. It was heroin, and I was snorting it because the prescription pills are expensive.
Expensive, yeah.
So that was very short, and then I came to a point where I lost my job, and you don't have the money for it. A lot of people go to beg, borrowing, and stealing. I was not a person who could do that. So
Yeah.
I was luckily, my friends and family intervened, and I got up and said, where am I going? Let's do this. But that is not...
When was this?
This was 2017.
Oh, so.
This is like almost 10 years ago. And since then, it's like my life changed. It's where I would not be the father I am today if I didn't do that. Because it taught me a lot. And lucky my kids were young. And that was a wicked tough time. Being out of control of your life like that is scary.
And it's all from an injury that you had that they prescribed.
Correct.
That's horrifying.
And it was just, you have no control of the physical and mental part of it. It's awful. And it takes over everything. And if you don't nip it in the bud, I can see why people lose everything. And I'm lucky to not have.
Yeah. Were you able to, function, or were you kind of more just vegging out on a couch?
I was functioning. Very functioning. But it was when I was not on that drug is when you were unfunctioning. You need it to function.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, that's all you thought about all day long. Your whole job was to get that into your system,
And
whether
then-
you wanted to or not.
Yeah.
It was awful, and like I take my recovery very seriously. I will, if I've gotten teeth pulled, I won't take any pain medication, which sucks.
Really? Yeah.
As you can see with my grill, like I've had a lot of mouth surgeries. As you can see with this smile, and all listeners get it. They know me, but it's something. I will never, can't say never. Will never put myself in a position to go back to that place.
No. What was the injury that you got?
It was my back. I was doing actually a bathroom for somebody we know very well. And I was doing their bathroom, and she's a nurse, and she was seeing me take all these ibuprofen, and I was groaning. I couldn't do it, but I had my own business, so I had to work. It was the worst pain in my life. I went to the doctor, and they gave me the pills, and they're like, "Oh, you should be fine." And I'm like, "I'm not fine," so they gave me some more. And then before I knew it, you're waking up sweating, and you go to the doctor, I need more. My back's hurting, which it still was, but I don't think I really needed it.
Were they giving it? Because back then, 10 years ago, it was such a
10
different...
years ago, yes. There was kind of... And then I got the taste for it when I had reconstructive surgery in my hand when I was 19. And that was when this epidemic was rampant. They were just giving them out. I had an open prescription for Percocets.
Yeah.
Open. I just went and got them filled whenever. So I think that's when I kind of got the taste, maybe, you'd say.
So you had an open prescription for Percocets?
Oh, yeah. When I ran out, I just got more. It was just I brought the
Yeah,
prescription
haven't
back.
you ever seen that documentary? What's the name of the documentary that's...
I've seen it, and I can't remember
Purdue?
what it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have
Purdue?
seen that.
Yes.
They literally
It was
did not
Taylor
know...
Kirsch. Taylor Kirsch, I think, is in it. Is it
Yeah,
that one?
yeah.
Yes.
That's what happened. The girl she got injured, but the way that the sales reps were selling it, they were saying it's not addictive.
Yeah.
But so much has changed since then. So now, if you went to the doctor and you're like, my back hurts, they'd send you to PT. They would.
Yes, exactly.
You'd have to be in the hospital.
I go to the doctor, the dentist. First thing I say is, I'm in recovery. I go, I don't take any pain
Yeah,
medication.
good for you.
Yeah, it is what it is. But
You think about it,
That's
because
tough.
I just
It is
looked
tough.
it up, and it says that, and this is from the American Addiction Centers, it says that 16% or 48.5 million Americans aged 12 and older meet the criteria for a substance use disorder within the past 12 months.
does that include like cell phones? These kids are addicted to them.
That's a whole nother
Yeah,
conversation.
whole
I
nother-
know.
Whole nother entity.
But it's kind of scary. I think they have started to like curb the regulations on it.
they
but,
have, yeah. But it's one of those things. Like, there's so much fentanyl coming to this country.
What message do you say to people who may be addicted that need help?
The thing is, when you need help, you have to want it. People can't push it on you. Like, oh, you need to go. No, you need it in your own head. How many people go to rehabs and stuff and go back in? It's just what it is. You need to want it. My whole thing was, so the whole thing with rehab is they push on you a higher power, which was tough for me because I thought it was God and all this stuff. And I struggle with faith and stuff because it's like, oh, how did this guy just create stuff like this and that? Like, it's just hard for me to. And there was a man there who was a counselor who said, it can be anything, something that's greater than you. And I said, the love of my children. And that was my higher power. That's what got me through it. So you use that, and you need to have it in your head to do it. You need to want it, and you need a great support system because you're not going to do it by yourself. It's just, and a lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to, no, it's not going to work like that. You need to submit your whole self to recovery and go into an inpatient thing where you're there and you want to do it and you take it seriously. That's the only way you're going to do it. And a lot of it's mental health too. Mental health.
Yeah, yeah.
Mental health has a huge thing to do with it.
Don't you think it's interesting? Like every episode we've done, mental health has kind of come up
It's
as
huge.
a
Yeah.
challenge.
I feel like it used to not be. It was such like a whatever.
Yeah, you're just
If
weird.
You brought it up,
Yeah.
Especially for me, like I came from a police department where if you brought that up, you didn't because you were like, oh God, I don't want to lose my like LTC or any of
Or
this. So.
our parents would be like, I don't want my kid to be known as like
a psycho.
Yeah, the psycho.
crazy person.
The psycho, but I mean,
COVID kind of changed that a little bit.
it
Mental
did,
health,
and I
came-
think they're using it a little too much too. Like,
There's a
my
fine
kid's
balance.
got this. My kid's. It's like, your kid's nervous, not anxiety. Everybody gets nervous, But I mean, I had my mental health issues, and I got it squared away in rehab. because I call it medication roulette. You go into a doctor's office and they're like, oh, try this. You leave there and that could mess you up real bad, and you're in real life. Like, you're going to work and you're just off the rails. You could end up in a psych ward because of your meds. I was in a controlled place where there's a doctor at all times. Got my meds right, and it's been smooth sailing. So,
how long were you in inpatient recovery for?
2.5 months.
Oh, wow. That's a long time.
It's a long time. And, like, I could not leave. Saturdays, family could come down and visit me.
Okay.
And it was all day. We stayed at a place in Sandwich, which was an old motel. You had either your own room, you had somebody with you. And every morning at 6 in the morning, get up, get on a bus, and go to Falmouth, to, like, the center, where you'd be in classes all day. You'd be doing, there would be like a yoga. You'd do yoga. You'd do meditation. You go through every single class. They had your counselor there who'd help you through court. If you're going through court, they would take care of that stuff. You had a doctor in there. You had somebody giving your meds. An in-house chef that would, like, have your thing. I was lucky to get in this place. And I went in there at 150 pounds. I came out at 185.
Wow.
Yeah, and, like, they get you back. Like,
how does insurance cover all this?
Insurance covered it.
Okay.
And I could not believe the bill. I was lucky. My insurance company probably hates me.
And
Although it's better than the latter.
I mean, it kind of sheds a light on a lot of things, you know, with that many millions of Americans struggling with, like, addiction or whatever, and the cost. It's hard to get help.
So you go in there and you think it's all a bunch of junkies and stuff. But someone like me, I never consider myself junkie. Like, I don't consider anybody. People have their own thing. Like, I never stole from people, fucking screw people like that. But, I mean, I was addicted to something. And I went in there, those grandmas in there who had been prescribed these pain meds for ages and couldn't get off. And these little old grandmothers are in there with Harry the junk block. I don't want to say it like that. I hate saying that. Like, people who are in there just, like, for 3 hots in a cot. You know, they get put in there by Mass Health or whatever, and they don't care. They don't take it seriously. They're going to be back in a month. And these sweet little old ladies, like, they're, like, out of place, like, but they would just prescribe these things since the early 2000s, and now they want to get off. They don't want to do the Suboxone or whatever because that's just synthetic heroin, and you're stuck on that too. Could be, you could call it worse.
Yeah, like when I was a cop when I first started out in 2013, I would be arresting people for heroin, and I would always say to them, like, how did you, just in the booking process, how did you get started? And they literally, every single person was like, oh, I got in a car accident, I fell off a tree, or whatever they did, and it was always prescription pills.
There was no treatment to get you off of it.
Yeah.
Because they give it to you and say, oh, you're done. And then the next day, you're sweating. You're dying.
Yeah.
And then you're throwing up. Yeah. You're sick. But it's not just that. Your head is just saying, you need this, you need this, you need this, and you'll find any way to get it.
And then how do they make, when you go back to the hotel, who's, like, making sure that you're not calling a dealer or doing whatever?
No cell phones. You go in there, they take everything from you.
Phones. Okay.
Everything from you. You have every other night you could call home. You'd have a call, so I'd call my family and talk to them, let them know I'm okay. And then you go back there, they would have snacks there because you'd eat 3 meals at the place you were at, and they'd have snacks. They would have at night, every night they would have speakers come in, like an AA meeting for all of us. You sit there and go through that. And when I finished, I would drive down to Falmouth once a week with my brother, and we would talk to the same people and be like, hey, I was here. I was here like a month ago. I was here 2 months ago. I'm going through it. I went through what you're going through. Like, you can do it. You can do it. And when I was there, that was great to hear. So it's like, you lose everything. You don't know, like, you're coming back. You might have a court case. You might have lost your wife, your family, your
job,
parents, your job, everything. But it can all be attained again, but you got to work for it. And you have to have it in your head you're going to do it, because if you're just taking it not seriously, it's like, this is like the hardest battle you're ever going to fight.
And what do you do now to kind of reinforce what you learned?
I do dance. I spend time with my kids.
Yeah.
It's idle hands that when I start, you start like, oh, what do I got to do? Like this and that.
Stay busy.
You stay busy. I'll still hit a meeting once in a while. I know where my aunt's home group is, and let's pop in there. Just, on a night when kids are doing something, like, I'm going to shoot in.
Yeah.
And, stuff like that, and you stay in touch. You talk about what's going on. Like I call Laura and be like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, and just let it all out. You can't keep things bottled up, because then you find a way to supplement that. So I talk a lot, and I never did. I'm Irish. We don't talk about stuff. But you don't talk about stuff. That's how we're brought up. And you just don't talk about it, but you learn to talk about it, and it feels a lot better. You get it off your chest.
But you say, okay, so we're Irish and we don't talk about things. More so recently in my adult life, I've spent a lot of time on your dad's porch.
Dude, the therapy porch is unreal.
Your dad is amazing.
He's amazing.
In that,
he's my therapist.
The one time I recently went over there, we talked.
The penguins?
We talked.
All right, go on. This is a great story.
So recently, one time when I went over to Kyle's parents' house, they're neighbors with my dad. Greg invited us in. It was actually me, you, Esau, and your dad. So your brother.
Yeah, I think he's home.
It was the four of us, and we died laughing. Like your dad just
we were in tears.
Started talking to us about a dream he had about penguins.
Penguins. The Penguin Olympics.
The penguins vying for a gold medal at the Olympics.
And I was like, what is wrong?
Where did this come from?
Yeah, and he was talking about the high jump. Running with their flappers going.
And
I'm like, dude.
I just remember, like, I mean, I think you were going through like a rough time at that time, and we were just chatting.
I'm always going through a rough time.
I know, but we were chatting with Greg, and we were just laughing so hard. Like,
oh my God.
And he just like, I think just the more important part of it was like, it was really cool to just go chill with your dad and like know that he's like, he worked at the Foxborough company for what, a bazillion years.
Wow.
And he's a recovered alcoholic and he helped me a lot. So he's my therapist. Like when I'm going through like anything, I show up at the house 10 at night and he's just like, what the hell? Like what?
But he always lets you in.
But always lets me in. Always lets me in. He just like sits down on the couch. He's like, I'm like, Dad, what are you watching? He's like, I don't even know.
But then there's the one time I met him at Cumberland Farms. Do you remember?
Yeah, you got in his van. Why would you get in his van? There's no windows.
Kyle's dad drives a van without windows.
Why?
We call it snuggle with a struggle. He always wanted a van. He retired and bought this white van that you would see on Dateline.
That's hilarious.
It's amazing. It's got a curtain inside. Yeah. It's very.
I carpeted it with pink carpet.
Nothing.
Drives it around. He just always wanted one. I'm like, it's so creepy.
We should do our next episode.
Funny story. Can I tell him? You go. I'll tell him.
Well, so after we had that conversation on the porch, a couple months later, I was at Cumberland Farms during the day, and I saw Greg, and I saw him, and I was like, oh boy. And he called me over to his van.
Which you'd never go, but you did.
So I went. I was like, this is going to be great after the last conversation we had with him. And he goes, we were chatting about like phones or something. And he was, you got a minute? Can you get in?
Oh my God, this is so creepy.
And I was like, yeah.
Of course you would.
Of
course.
So,
well, you always wanted to go in his van.
I've always wanted,
I want to take a ride in your dad's van. I'm like, that's weird, but okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can arrange it.
So I get in the van and I'm sitting in Cumberland Farms in Foxborough. And we just, he lost his cigarettes. So we spent 30 minutes looking for his cigarettes. Chatting, though, about like outside of the cigarettes we were chatting just about anything and everything. And then he started asking me, we started talking about the penguins again. And he goes, speaking of penguins, can we talk about the phone? So like it was basically like an info session on how to use a cell phone. And I spent, I think, an hour and a half with him in the parking lot of Cumberland Farms, teaching him how to use the phone.
That's hilarious.
But I will say, I think your dad doesn't know this, but I used to sell software when I worked at Siemens. And when I would sell software, everybody used to think like, oh my God, she knows all this stuff about technology. She knows how to fix things.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you don't.
There's no chance in hell that I'm fixing anything.
They have adult education.
They do, but like
even
my dad used to come to me. I had a cousin that used to come to me to be like, Pat? Hey, can you fix this? Or do you know how to do this? And I was always like, and my coworker that I used to work with always used to warn me. He's like, be careful because they're going to think that you're able to like
You're like
fix
an IT
everything.
person.
And then you're the IT help desk.
You never disclose what you know because then they're
then
going to
you're-
exploit it.
yeah.
But your dad didn't know that, but he asked me for help with Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah,
and
we got him on that. Now he's pissed because I send him all these reels that are just
But
Oh,
he's
not
I'm
appropriate.
addicted.
we got to
Oh
get
my
him to
God,
follow
right?
Blondes in the Burbs
Yes.
because he
Oh,
follows
yeah.
he
Followers,
follows
yeah.
my personal page and he looks at the videos, I think.
Does he?
Um
Well, I probably send them because they're hilarious.
yeah, he watches some of them.
You gotta put it
stories.
our podcast in your bio.
Okay. I'll
Let me
add
see.
that.
Guys, we're at 101 followers.
Yep, we're going to
What?
get more.
101.
What?
All right,
For
so
real?
kind
Crushing
of going
it.
back. So
Crushed it.
we've derailed
I'll probably
here.
lose you a couple. Boring thing
So, now we're kind of going towards the end of our show. We've got about an hour.
with me. I got like 3 hours more material.
Well, okay. So what in life are you most proud of?
My children. Hands down. Hands
Love
down.
it.
It's one thing I haven't screwed up. Everything else in life I've screwed up at least once. That part I have not.
Awesome.
That's it. Simple answer.
I love
That's
it.
one thing I never will screw up. Made a promise to myself.
If you could go backwards in time and start all over again.
Marry you.
No.
I've been in love with Laura since we were 3 years old. We've been
There's still time.
The best friends. The bestest of friends ever.
Yeah, I love Kyle. We're really good friends.
Sister.
No, but
Hey, girl,
but,
hey.
but going backwards in time to when we graduated high school, what would you do differently about your life?
Nothing. Because if you change one thing, like the butterfly effect, I would not be where I am now. Because I would not have my children. I would probably not be sitting here. If I changed one little thing, it would not be the same. I can't change anything.
This is a bit
No regrets.
This is a bit of a deep question.
Go ahead.
Do you miss Esau?
My brother?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I miss my brother a lot. When we went down to see him, it was awesome. I hit him with a goat right when I walked in.
A goat? What?
You bend over.
I can't.
I still do that stuff to him. It's like we're still kids, and we started fighting right away. I miss my brother. Yes. Yeah, I wish you'd come home because not for my sake, but for my kids' sake. They love Uncle E, and they miss him. Like they'll FaceTime him, and they miss Uncle E.
Why do you go to Florida? Is he working there?
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked in Westwood for a company, and they sent him down there to get their other company in order, and he has. He's done he's doing very well, and he did like a 2-year commitment, so it's coming up in September. So I don't know if he's gonna come home or not. I hope he does.
He's brilliant, your brother.
He is a very
smart kid.
My sister is too.
Yeah.
And, I don't know what happened with me. They're both just very successful. I'm just
Old Town Foxborough.
a field worker at the Foxborough DPW.
Oh my god.
Keeping our streets clean, though.
You're darn right I am. I'll be out in the sweeper tomorrow night.
I have to say, the plowing over the winter, fantastic.
Here's a random thought. I mean, along those lines of us talking about like the plowing was really good.
No, yeah, we did a great job. Thank you.
You never hear like people say positive things, and it's
But that's
kind
with
of
everything.
Well, the positive.
it
people
is.
keep
But
to
in Old
themselves.
Town Foxborough, I feel like we never had all these people complaining like
Well, we didn't have
this.
social media either.
We didn't have social media.
That's a huge thing. Some people just sit at home. And that's what they do. They just like to bash on other people, put their opinions in, which they're entitled to. I get it, but it's like the way I see it is before you put your opinion in, get some information. You know, find out like okay, how many people, how many plows you got, how many this. You know, I mean, it's not like we're slacking. We're doing the best we can.
Yeah,
we
it's
really
social
are.
media. That's the problem.
It's social media. I mean, everything's out there, and then you hear every little bit. It's not just a newspaper that has a couple articles. It's everybody's opinion. So, who are the top 5? Well, top 4, because you already have top 1 is me. Top 5 people you want on your podcast.
Okay, I'm gonna go first.
You go first, yeah.
Number 1. I'll start with number 5, actually. Number 5 is Savannah Chrisley.
Ooh,
Oh, she's that one from the...
good one.
Yeah.
Yep. Number 4 is my coworker Chris O'Rourke, if he's listening. we don't work together anymore, but he's
a great guy, though.
amazing, and I want him to propose on the podcast
To his girlfriend?
to his girlfriend.
Where is she?
I don't know.
I'm invested
Is
right
she gonna
now.
hear
What do you mean
this?
propose? Like
She's not gonna hear this, but I wanna work. I think I can work. He has no idea that I'm talking about this, but I want him to talk to me about when he's gonna propose, maybe in the next year, year and a half, and say, "Come on the podcast, bring her."
Or just be there while he's doing it, recording it. Because I don't know. It's like, is that very romantic? You know, being in this
yeah, it
podcast
is.
room
People
and
want to
being
be
like,
recorded.
yeah.
but still,
Don't
like,
worry.
People
in
do
my
extrap.
basement.
But
Yeah.
I wouldn't talk about. I wouldn't talk.
I mean, it's a lovely,
Thanks.
basement.
No,
but,
no, I
mean,
wouldn't
people
do it
like
here.
Go to like Paris and stuff to propose. Like,
Wait, we could also go on the road.
That's what I was thinking. So
I'm in.
We should.
I have another. I have an. Okay, so my number 3 is Bailey Dupree.
Oh, she's amazing.
Who's that?
She's amazing. She's got her own TV show now.
She is the girl that is like TikTok or Instagram
Does she talk
famous.
about like death
She has
and stuff?
no.
She's
She has Tourette's,
Oh.
but she's amazing.
Great attitude about it. Her boyfriend's. It's a.
And I want to have her
It's
on the
awesome.
show because I recently saw a video. I know she's, I think, engaged, but she talks about like how people aren't like super respectful of her. But I think she's like amazing. Like she kind of is trying to break that mold.
They have a bad like perspective judgment on her condition.
My number 2 is my 2 best friends from high school, Kathy and Jen.
Mm-hmm, that'd be good.
And
No.
then
100%.
number 1 is my sister Mo and Joey, your brother, at the same time.
Oh, I'd love that. Yeah, we gotta talk him into it.
All the twins together.
The twins. Okay, so now your top 5, starting with 5.
So there is an influencer, makeup influencer in Quincy, Michaela.
Ooh.
I don't know how to say her last name. She's got the black hair.
Yep, I know who she is.
I want her on this podcast so bad because I cannot figure out her accent. It's so intense.
You gotta dig it.
I'm so intrigued by her. And then I am obsessed with Love on the Spectrum. So I want
Yes.
Tanner and his
Yes,
mom.
I am 100%.
What about
behind
Connor?
That. I can back
Connor,
that.
love.
Yes.
Love.
That's a great show.
But he's never leaving
Great
Georgia.
show. No, we'll have to do like a Zoom.
Yep.
But I've seen them do Zoom.
It could be a road trip though.
Then there's this mom. We could do a road. Yeah. We're
Yep.
gonna start traveling.
Get a bus.
Um,
I could probably get my hands on a minibus.
we should. Like if we could get Love on the anybody from Love on the Spectrum, which I am obsessed with that show. It's
Yes.
a new obsession.
It's a great show.
And I love their mothers too.
They're
Yes.
so like understanding.
Un-
and,
But
like,
James's
Conditional
family, I
love.
want to
Yes.
change.
Yeah, but I mean,
James
he's
is
in
tough.
Boston.
I know.
Yes, James
Yeah,
is
but
tough.
he would be a
He's-
tough one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would come on.
I think you could get him.
Yeah, but Tanner's mom, I'm obsessed with her. Cause I just like feel like she's so patient and kind.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
snap like.
He's the one with the 2 sisters and a brother.
Yeah. No. Yeah,
Is that
2
Tanner?
sisters and a brother. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And then I want Michaela, the makeup artist. I want him or anybody from that show. I definitely want Gypsy Rose one day.
Oh,
like
for sure.
would
good
love to have
lineup, good
Gypsy
lineup.
Rose. Especially now that she's a mom.
She looks pretty
Phenomenal.
good.
She bounced right back.
Yeah.
So I got Craig to watch her TV show, and Craig was like, "What is she doing? She can't be with Ryan." Like, she's like, "Oh, Ryan's getting pissed." Like,
Oh, you got into
Oh
it?
God.
Craig got into it. He was
Good.
big into Gypsy Rose, but then I told him the story. He's like, "Whoa, that's insane!" And now she's a mom, and for somebody who was in prison, this woman had a ton of drama behind the walls. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So I want her, and then there's a local mom, Nikki. She started with like drunk on Duncan or whatever.
Yep.
Now. Then she went into
Nikki
Trader
Marie.
Joe's. Yes.
Yep.
Nikki Marie, need her. And then I want to get my mom on one day.
Oh, I would
Huge.
All
love.
real estate.
Oh, yeah.
That'd
I
be my
would
number
love
one.
to have Millie on.
Man, she'd be a great one.
Your mom's a legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was.
We forgot to talk about Craig coming, our EP.
Oh, Craig. Yeah, I would,
He's
Huge.
like
He
our
just- He got this all
actual.
set up in no time.
He's our number one.
He's
He's
got three,
the man.
3 kids upstairs he's taking care of. I can hear him bouncing around.
Yeah,
and he's,
dying
he's
eggs.
Saint.
Yep.
Dying
So,
eggs.
Craig, like I always say, I want because he's always telling me to go get a hobby or do because he has so many hobbies. He does
Yeah.
reffing. He does whatever, golf, everything.
You're a mom. That's a time consuming.
Yeah, it's time consuming.
It's huge.
But I finally was like, you know what? I want to start a podcast.
So I was a stay-at-home dad for a while, and I have the most respect for a stay-at-home mom.
Oh.
And it's like, I just get to sit and watch TV. Nope, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Just a quick side note. Nothing like that. It is. I'd rather work 80 hours a week.
Even just dyeing the eggs upstairs.
It's a lot.
But for me, when I went from working shift work to being the default parent, culture shock.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wow, it was actually easier to.
So when I got a rehab, that's what I did. I stayed home with an infant. My wife was working.
Infant, like bottle feeding infant.
4 months old. When I went in, she was 2 months old. And that still kills me. That was tough.
Yeah.
And she's a newborn. And I thought, this is going to be easy. And,
No.
I'm like, I get why they drink wine all day.
Yeah.
Like,
but you know
I
what?
wanted
though?
to drink beers all day.
You know what I will say?
It was frustrating.
It is frustrating, but now that I had my kids younger, and I see a lot of my friends are starting to have kids.
Yep.
I look at them and I'm like, oh God, thank God I had my kids younger.
So you can still be a fun parent the way I see it. Because I'm still like, I'm almost 40, but when they were so young, I was like, and I'm still doing the fun stuff.
Yeah, I feel like you have more energy, you're doing
more
fun
energy.
stuff.
Yes, that's what's great. Like, I'm still a kid. I'll always be a kid. I'm Peter Pan. I'll never grow up. But
yeah, but you get set in your way. So if, like, you were to have a kid tomorrow, Laura, you would have to readjust your whole, like, life. For me, when I was 28 and had my first kid, I didn't know what I was doing anyways. I didn't have my first, like, real job, my stable career.
Yeah.
We just, went with it.
That's why I tell people who are having kids, I'm like, don't plan for it. You'll figure it out. Just
one of
wing
the
it.
things
Wing
I
it.
want
You'll do it.
Yeah,
talk to Kathy about. Kathy is, I'm sure she's going to hate that I'm saying this, but
Kathy
DeLuca.
From Foxborough.
From Foxborough. So she's like super mom, like you. I always look at you, and I do think about Kathy a lot too, because you're like boss at work, but then you have to like come home and be mom. And my friend Jen is like that too. Jen's very quiet, but Kathy's, I don't know. It's like, I'm almost 40, and I obviously know that I don't want kids, but it's like, and I love kids. Don't get me wrong. I love kids, but don't ask me to babysit your kids either, because that's a huge.
You
that's
love
a
kids,
no.
but you just don't like being around.
That's a no. But if you want to go to the Mariner, I'll DD you, because I don't really drink that much anymore. But I'm like the old lady. But I feel like you remind me a lot of Kathy, because it's like you have to like get up and be on, and then be a mom for a couple hours, which is like
your day doesn't start until you get home.
Serious stuff,
like,
honestly.
And then you got to come home and like work, which like work is really tough stuff. And I know that you have a husband. Kathy has a husband too, but I don't know. It's just really crazy. Like,
and the mental load too.
Yeah,
a lot of mental loads. I feel like my head's always running. I'm definitely the default parent, which I'm happy that I'm able to do that, because my last job I would have never been able to do that. But in my head I'm like, okay, I gotta go to lacrosse. I gotta answer this email. I gotta bring her here, bring her there.
You burn out. It's like you want to burn out, but it's not an option.
You can't.
It's not an option.
Burn out.
No, and you just want to, and when you have that like hour to yourself.
It's
like,
bliss.
It's like you just lean back like this. If everybody could see me, just and it's like, all right, I gotta pick this one up.
But that's why when I see some of my friends that are my age having kids, I think back to how hard it was.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I could go back. I don't think I could go back.
You go back into the mode though.
You just black out.
You just black out and you do it.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on our.
I had a blast. I like talking.
Thanks.
Especially you two
You
blondes.
can be
I would love to come back.
Recurring.
Oh, on subject. Oh yeah, I got a great opinion on things.
We should have him as a recurring.
I'm in.
Guest.
I'm totally.
We could. I mean, we could bring everybody back.
Yeah.
Because I loved Sean was great.
Yeah, he was.
Next.
Like, there is one topic next episode that I think we can talk about, but that we need to do.
We can't just leave it at that.
Let's
wrap
this
it
up.
We'll wrap it up. Yeah.
All right.